A philosopher once said that public resources are always enough for our needs, but not enough for our greed. This graphically explains the evils and distress of diversion of funds meant for public good. Diversion of funds is nothing but deliberate misapplication and misdirection of resources for selfish and private users. Today on The Eagle, we shall be looking at diversion of public funds, a scourge to Nigeria's economy. Hello and thank you for joining us on another episode of The Eagle. My name is Aisha Muhammad. The Nigerian Bar Association (NBA) has commended the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) for its good works in fighting economic and financial crimes. The association made the commendation when the chairman of the Abuja branch, Afam O. Okeke, led a delegation to the corporate headquarters of the commission in Jabi, Abuja. Ojuchuktami Eche tells us more.
The chairman, NBA Abuja branch, Afam O. Okeke, said the association was at the commission to pledge their support to the agency in its fight against corruption and to make critical input whenever such is demanded. The association, however, solicited the commission's intervention in resolving the lingering regulatory issues between its members and the Special Control Unit Against Money Laundering, SCOMO.
We are here to pledge our support to the fight against corruption. The branch is ready and willing to collaborate, give any kind of support or assistance to the commission in any way that we can, even in the area of research or whatever that the commission deems it fit, that they can call on the branch to assist them. Let me quickly congratulate the commission on the good work they are doing. We know that it's not easy. Like we always hear, this is not a creature for corruption fighting back. It's a very sensitive job that you people are doing, and as well risky. And we know that God will continue to guide you and protect you as you serve the society and humanity in general.
In his response, the Director, Legal and Prosecution Department, Sylvanus Tahir SAN, thanked them for appreciating the contributions of the Commission while assuring them that the EFCC was committed to working in partnership with the bar in furtherance of the fight against corruption. Tahir noted that the activities of SCOMO were not targeted at any specific trade or professional group, but an honest attempt at enforcing extant regulations in line with global anti-money laundering imperatives in the aftermath of the 2001 terrorist attack in the United States.
We are ever willing and ready to partner with the NBA in whatever way we can. We all work for the same purpose. The NBA comprises of people that are ministers in the Temple of Justice. What we are doing here is to attain justice. We want a crime-free Nigeria, particularly as it relates to economic and financial crimes. And most of the time, we meet in court, we cross swords, but the ultimate end and goal is that there will be justice for everybody. Justice for the state, justice for victims, justice for criminal suspect and every other person.
He further explained that flagging the accounts of designated non-financial businesses and professions was not discriminatory, but an attempt by regulatory and law enforcement entities to ensure that organizations are not used as conduits for laundering proceeds of illicit activities.
Yawa Alhaji, yanzu ka zagaya kaga motocin nan guda uku, kuma guda uku kake so.
Guda uku nake so.
To sai maganan biya.
Yanzu biya da mu na zo da kuɗi na kashi don in biya ga wani ga Abbas.
Abbas ya dakata.
Saboda me?
Saboda akwai doka.
Wace doka ne wannan?
Sashen yaƙi da ayyukan magudi da mu'amala da kuɗaɗen haram, wato SCOMO, da ke ƙarƙashin hukumar EFCC. Ita ce tace duk mutum ɗaya in zai yi mu'amala na ciniki da wuce naira miliyan 5 sai a banki. In kamfani ne, ta haramta mu kamfani ya gudanar da harkan da ta wuce miliyan 10 in dai maganan kashi ne, sai dai a banki.
To da ban sani ba, amma yanzu da kai min bayani zan je banki in saka ma kuɗi in zo ɗauki motoci na.
Ba shi kenan yayi. Idan muka karya doka kuma za mu biya taron naira 250 cur akan kowane laifi. Bugu da ƙari a soke lasisin mu kwata-kwata. Idan dai kunne ya ji, gangan jiki ya tsira. Wannan saƙo ne daga hukumar EFCC.
The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission EFCC has said that poverty and unemployment are no justification for involvement in computer-related frauds. This was stated in a lecture titled The Roles of Youth in Curbing Economic and Financial Crimes, delivered at the Orientation Matriculation Program for fresh students of the Lagos State University, Ojo, Lagos. Ojo Tukutame Eche again has the details.
The Commander, Lagos Zonal Commander of the EFCC, Assistant Commander of the EFCC, ACE1, Michael Wetkas, said poverty should not be an excuse for criminality, just as unemployment should not be a basis for defrauding others of their hard-earned income by youths who are involved in internet frauds. Wetkas described the youth as one of the most strategic stakeholders in nation building. He said the youths could confront and conquer corrupt practices if they show willingness to be change agents in their various engagements. He also stressed that the youth cannot tackle any crime they're involved in. Rather, they should be change agents by refusing to be involved in, facilitate, or perpetrate any form of economic crime. Wetkas enjoined the youths to avoid criminality, be whistleblowers by being part of the army of those rejecting economic crimes and other acts of corruption, and utilize the Eagle Eye application of the EFCC. He stated that the app is a digital reporting device that allows for anonymous reporting to the EFCC with options of image upload.
Very patriotic and a step in the right direction towards achieving a continuous orientation and sensitization of our youths against all forms of financial crimes, particularly the famous internet fraud, what people always call Yahoo Yahoo. The Commission is always willing to leverage on every available forum and platform such as this one in order to drum up support for the fight against cybercrime, being the most famous and prevalent financial crime among our youths. This is why today's lecture and engagement is very, very crucial.
The Lagos commander further charged the students to embrace hard work rather than internet fraud, which he described as a crime against humanity and God. He also called on Nigerian youths to take a cue from other youths who are into innovation, manufacturing, and pace-setting inventions in other countries of the world. The commander said the engagement was part of the Commission's ceaseless efforts towards orientation and sensitization of the youth against all forms of economic and financial crimes, particularly the infamous internet frauds. Wetkas, who stated that the EFCC alone could not deliver on its mandate without the support of all its stakeholders, including the youth, therefore called on all youths to be the Commission's foot soldiers in the task of ridding the nation of economic and financial crimes.
As part of efforts to check the increasing incidences of fraudulent withdrawals and use of pre-registered SIM cards to open wallet accounts, the Kano Command of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission EFCC has met with representatives of telecommunications and financial technology companies, fintechs, in the zone. The meeting was aimed at strengthening relationship between the fintech and the Commission in order to checkmate the activities of fraudsters. Here are details.
In his opening remarks, the Kano Zonal Commander of the EFCC, Farouk Dogundaji, said the motivation for the engagement was the Commission's concern about a pattern of fraudulent activities which clearly shows that fraudsters were gravitating towards fintechs because of some observed vulnerabilities. The head of the cybercrime section of the Kano Command, Musa Bashir Olalekong, disclosed that 90% of the cases received by the command bordered on fraudulent withdrawals, which are mostly traced to wallet accounts of fraudsters. He noted that because of the higher level of compliance with regulations by deposit money banks, fraudsters prefer to use fintechs due to their poor KYC process. Olalekon further disclosed that most of the fraudsters use pre-registered SIM cards to perpetrate their fraudulent activities, which makes it difficult to unmask them during investigation. The Commission tasked the operators to put in place measures to detect and report suspicious transactions to law enforcement agencies. The representatives of the telecommunication companies and financial technology companies also shared their experiences and challenges in their line of work. They highlighted some of the vulnerabilities and loopholes in their systems that cybercrimes exploit to perpetrate financial crimes, to include identity theft, phishing, and hacking, among others. They, however, expressed their willingness to collaborate with the EFCC and other stakeholders to eliminate these vulnerabilities and combat financial crimes. Stakeholders represented at the parley were representatives of the major telecommunication companies, which include MTN, Airtel, and 9Mobile, and financial technology companies such as OPay Digital Services, PalmPay, Flutterwave, and Kuda Microfinance.
The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission EFCC has called on students across the country to stand up and fight the evils of corruption in Nigeria. This call was made at the inauguration of an integrity club at Gleason International Academy, Jahi, Abuja. According to the EFCC, corruption is a very terrible evil that denies and deprives Nigerians of their comforts, benefits, and rights. Ojochuktame Eche again tells us more.
The message was conveyed through Assistant Commander of the EFCC, ACE-1, Dele Oyewale, who pointed out that corruption is responsible for social and economic challenges across the country. He stressed that a look at Nigeria today shows the deplorable state of some of its social amenities because the resources that are meant for public use are either diverted, misapplied, or embezzled. Commenting about the Integrity Club, Oyewale explained that the club is envisioned to be a building block for anti-corruption in the school. Also speaking, Head of Enlightenment and Reorientation Unit of the Public Affairs Department of the Commission, Assistant Commander of the EFCC, ACE-2, Aisha Mohammed, said the Commission's Integrity Club is being established in schools because the Commission believes youths are very important in the fight against corruption, stressing that youths are the future of Nigeria and it is believed they should be taught at a young age to be good ambassadors and molded into future leaders with integrity. Speaking earlier, Principal of the school, Charles Uene, thanked the EFCC for considering the school for the club, stating that the initiative was apt as it would help them mold to be good citizens and future leaders equipped to change the narrative when they get to the helm of affairs in the country. Highlight of the event is an oath taken by executives of the club and the new members. Martha Ojochukutami Eche, reporting for The Eagle.
Next is conviction update with Abbas Abubakar Umar.
The update, which covers 12th to 16th June 2023, the EFCC secured a total of 94 convictions. A breakdown of the convictions showed Enugu Zonal Command topped the chart with 29 convictions, the Benin Command followed with 19 convictions, while the Kaduna Command had 16. Oyo Zonal Command secured 9 convictions, while Kano got 6. The headquarters and Lagos Command each secured 4 convictions, while the Ibadan and Ilorin got 3 each. The Abuja Zonal Command secured 2, while the Gombe Command got 1. This brings the total conviction for the week under review to 94. Back to you, Aisha.
Nigeria has suffered grievous discomfort and stagnation owing to the scourge of diversion of funds. Low indices of growth and development can be traced to this trouble. Discussing the topic, diversion of public funds, a scourge to Nigeria's economy, is Golden Onwura and our guest. Over to you, Golden.
Thank you, Aisha. Hello and welcome to the interview segment. Today we'll be discussing diversion of public funds, a scourge to Nigeria's economy. Diversion of public funds has been a problem as old as time. A lot of public office holders at different times in the history of Nigeria were alleged to have diverted public funds, which in turn have affected the development of the country. The negative scenario has left public infrastructures abandoned, the people in poverty, and funds meant for development diverted to some unscrupulous individuals. Here I have ACE2 Ibrahim Salihu, who is the head Special Duties Lottery Team, to discuss this topic. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you, Golden, for having me.
For a better understanding of the topic, let's look at, the term public funds. What is public funds?
Public fund. There is no single definition of a public fund, but we can look at it at different broad ways, in the sense that what fund is all about is fund is money and public is people, population. So combining the two together, public fund is the money that belongs to the people. And in that, can start maybe by using Nigerian people, money that belongs to them, government. Money is gotten from the source of our asset, natural resources, payment of royalties, taxation, grant, and donation given to the country.
When can we say public fund is being diverted?
I can simply say that money that is meant for that the public is used to provide essential basic amenities for the citizens of the country, whereby contracts are being given, such as construction of roads, hospitals, provision of pipe-borne water, but such are given to contractors. And at the end of the day, what we expect to see, instead of us to see the road that was awarded to a contractor, we end up seeing the same. No road, no pipe-borne water, no light. So that will see that money has been diverted to a different post.
Who are those culprits? Who are those involved in public fund diversion?
Specifically, I can't say it's just the contractors. It's those that are connected. Sometimes people in authority, the public servant, those that awarded the contract. Who are the awardee of the contract? The public servant. That is the people in government. That is the connected person. Sometimes that is the same people they call persons in authority. They award this contract. They have they are saddled with the responsibility of monitoring those projects. But at the end of the day, it's more of organized crime, whereby they end up giving this contract to themselves, and at the end of the day, they will not do it. They will divert this money. Maybe hiring a contractor. At the end of the day, they will not say, okay, contractor, you have 10% of that, and return back this money to a different post, whereby they can easily divert it, launder it somewhere, maybe to other countries, or use it for their own personal gain.
What does the EFCC do to ensure that public funds are not diverted, or at least to curtail this menace?
In such way, Commission comes in, is once the case is reported, we look at it as in by way of investigation into how the money was released, from which of the agency to who. Then we now carry out an audit train and check where does the money goes to. Different pockets, will try as much as possible to get those culprits by starting our investigation and thereafter calling them to come and respond to the allegation.
Apart from the investigation and prosecution of offenders or culprits, what has the Commission done in terms of prevention and monitoring to ensure that this crime is not being committed in the first place?
Okay, the Commission has really done well by putting in place a different preventive measure, such as a sensitization program, like the latest school mode jingle, and that of the radio and television program, with Algon and CSO, budget monitoring and tracking. So we have really gone far in that sense, and even some cases whereby budget approved and being appropriated, we as well to monitor that project and see if the job has been done. But if not, then we'll call those people to order.
So in your own opinion, what do you think can be done differently apart from what the Commission has been doing?
Okay, yes, what I really want to do here is, instead of the money being recovered in such cases, what the commission do differently is, instead of we not only recovering this money from the corporate, rather we'll also enforce by sending them back to site to make sure they will go and complete those jobs because of inflation.
What are the punishments for perpetrators of this heinous crime?
Okay, the punishment is we can look under the Nigerian laws. There is the penal code that is being operated in the northern Nigeria, and that of the criminal code that is operated in the southern part of the country. And now again, we will as well look at it falls under criminal breach of trust, which the punishment attracts from 2 to 14 years, or fine, or both.
Thank you very much. But just before we go, what are your last words? Your advice to the public that their funds are being diverted, and to the public office holder that might intend to divert public funds.
Okay, first I have to start by saying the government should make the law of the punishment should be more stiffer than the way it is now, and also pardon should not be given to anybody found or even convict too, so that they won't have room to enjoy their funds, the looted funds. And also for the public now, it's good we can look at Freedom Information Act, whereby they are free to get information from anywhere, most especially budget that concerns them. They should look as the money been allocated, as the money been appropriated, for them to check if yes, then they can look, if the work has not been done, then they can now report to Economic and Financial Crime Commission, EFCC.
Thank you very much, ACE to Ibrahim Salihu, for coming on the program. Public funds diversion is not just a betrayal of public trust, but a criminal offense, punishable under the law. Diversion of public funds has led to poor health care, dilapidated infrastructure, and general underdevelopment of any society. It is the duty of the citizens to hold public office holders accountable by reporting any suspected case of diversion to the EFCC. Remember, when you see something, say something so that the EFCC can do something. That's it from this segment. I am Golden Onwura. Back to Aisha for the rest of the program.
Thank you, Golden, for that interview. You've heard our guest there. He converses that punishment should be stiffer and pardon should not be given to looters so that it can be served as a deterrent. And for the public, they should ask questions on money given for projects. We all have to be watchdogs. Say something, and be rest assured EFCC will do something about it. Before we end the program, here is an important announcement. The attention of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission EFCC has been drawn to the activities of content creators, movies and skit producers who use EFCC branded jackets, symbols, insignia and other accoutrements without authorization. The Commission wishes to notify the public that the use of the EFCC brand in movies without authorization is illegal. While the Commission appreciates the desire by some operators in the creative sector to produce movies, skits with plot around economic and financial crimes, it is incumbent on such operators to seek the Commission's authorization, including vetting of scenes which purport to depict the operations of the Commission, to ensure that false or misleading messages are not passed to the public. The Public Affairs Department of the Commission is adequately equipped to work with motion picture practitioners desirous of partnering with the Commission in using films and skits to educate the public, especially the youth, on the dangers of economic and financial crimes. Anyone found acting contrary to this advisory shall henceforth be treated as an impersonator and dealt with accordingly. To be forewarned is to be forearmed. And that's how we draw the curtains on today's episode of The Eagle. We'll come your way again next week with another interesting edition. Let's keep the conversation going by sending an email to info@efcc.gov.ng or call us on 0809 3322 644. Use the EFCC mobile app, the Eagle Eye, to report any fraud you see happening around you. You download the app, you follow the steps, and report fraud on the go. And you can also take pictures of corrupt practices and upload them. Also remember to join us every Wednesday evening at 6 p.m. on our web-based town hall meeting called EFCC Connect, where we answer your questions and note your observations of the anti-corruption fight in order to serve you better. I am Aisha Muhammad, leaving you with this parting words from an American singer and actress, Whitney Houston. She said, and I quote, "I believe that children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. So let's all be role models to our younger ones. Let's stand for integrity so that they can emulate. Let's be the change we want to see. Let's be their mirror. Stand for integrity and do the right thing always." Goodbye. God bless Nigeria. Please do stay safe, be kind to yourself and to others around you, and do enjoy the rest of the week.